Yes, welcome to this very bright day. It's Tuesday morning, 4th of June 2024. If you ask me, I'll tell you that this month of June is actually running very fast. But then again, here we are, 4th day of the month of June 2024, and it's time for the newspaper review. You're listening to Citizen 93.7 FM. My name is Sean Smith, and I'll be reviewing the headlines from across the national dailies: the Punch newspaper, Vanguard, Daily Trust, Leadership newspaper, This Day newspaper, the Nation newspaper, Nigerian Tribune, Daily Post newspaper, and hopefully Guardian Nigeria and Nigeria Today. We'll be taking a look at the stories from across this papers this morning, and I'll be doing it alongside just myself this morning. We'll take a look at the papers and that's a summary of the stories this morning. If you'd like to pass commentaries or let us know what is on your mind regarding the stories that I'll be looking at this morning, you can call in on 0903 2229797 or 0818 2222205, 0818 2222205, and that's what we'll be touching on this wonderful morning. You can also leave me a WhatsApp message or a voice note via the WhatsApp number 0818 2222205. Yes, that is it. And now we kickstart this morning's review, taking a look at the Punch newspaper for this morning. We can see on the cover page of the Punch Labour may end strike. Federal government offers over 60,000 naira. Labour may end strike. There are indications that the organized labour may end its strike over the new minimum wage, as it's reached an agreement with the federal government on Monday. After a 6-hour meeting in Abuja, the federal government expressed the commitment of President Bola Tinubu to raising the 60,000 naira offered as the minimum wage. The meeting, held in the office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, SGF, on Monday evening, aimed to resolve the impasse and bring an end to the industrial action that had paralyzed various sectors across the country. Now, after extensive deliberations, several key resolutions were reached. The agreement stated that the President of Nigeria, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, is committed to establishing a national minimum wage higher than 60,000 naira, and the tripartite national minimum wage. The organized labor also agreed to immediately hold meetings of its organs to consider this new offer, and no worker would face will face victimization as a consequence of participating in the industrial actions. Now, these resolutions were signed on behalf of Honorable Nkiruka Onyejocha, and representing the organized labor with the president of the Nigeria Labour Congress, Joe Ajaero, and the president of the Trade Union Congress, Festus Osifo. There's more to this story that you can get a copy of the Punch newspaper and look out for the headline. Minimum wage, federal government offers over 60,000 naira. Labour may end strike. And now we'll take a look at more stories here on the Punch newspaper as well today. It says here that minimum wage as well. APC knocks PDP over 120,000 naira proposal. APC knocks PDP over 120,000 naira proposal. Apparently, Congress, whose government is proposing 60,000 naira as minimum wage, described the PDP's advice to Labour as unpatriotic. The organized labor, spearheaded by the Nigerian Labour Congress and the Trades Union Congress, began a nationwide strike on Monday after rejecting the federal government's 60,000 naira minimum wage offer as opposed to the 494,000 naira being demanded by Labour. The strike paralyzed activities at government offices, airports, schools and hospitals, while the electricity supply was cut and water distribution was halted. And if you ask me, it has definitely affected a lot of us. There was no lights, no water. Even means of transportation is quite expensive. This is for us that still have to show up to work as essential workers. So we do hope that in due time this is finally finalized and everything can go back to, being better, not how it was. So if you are listening this morning, I'd like that you call in to let us know what is your take on the stories, these headlines. The number you can call is 0818-2222205. 0818-2222205 or 0903-22297. And now we'll take a look at more stories. Still on the Punch newspaper, lift up over rumored bandit attack on federal government, Federal Capital Territory, pardon me, it's the shock for me. The Commissioner of Police, Federal Capital Territory, Bennett Igwe, has deployed officers, including material and fiscal assets, across Abuja over an alleged planned bandit invasion. A message broadcasted on the popular messaging application WhatsApp on Sunday and Monday claimed that there was a movement of bandits led by one Ardo, a sub-commander of a notorious bandits leader, Boderi Yellow, My 1 Million. The WhatsApp broadcast read in part, and I quote, "There is a movement of bandits led by Ardo, a sub-commander of Arco, Kaduna State. The destination is Garaka Kuba Hills, Federal Capital Territory. Sir, following the escape of one Inusa Lawal, male 18 years, from the camp, he was one of those kidnapped in Oshafa along with others at Dawaki on 19th May 2024. He escaped from the custody today, 2nd June 2024. 10 hostages, including him, in their camp. He also said that the victims kidnapped from Dawaki and Dakwa are all in the camp. Intelligence from our sources confirmed that Ardo led 10 of his gang members from the camp to FCT since yesterday night. The mission in the FCT is not clear. However, in view of the above, there is a need for security forces to collaborate in the operation already in place to the hills Kubwa Garaka is today. Wow, that's really touching. We do hope that everything is handled as much as it can be. You find the rest of the story on this particular headline: security beefed up over rumored bandits attack on FCT. And that's that. You find that on the Punch newspaper for today, the 4th of June 2024. And now we'll take a look at more stories here on the Punch newspaper as well. It says, Obasanjo recalls Yola prison days. Says, I rejected AC gifts from late Emir. Obasanjo recalls Yola prison days. Says, I rejected AC gifts from late Emir. Rivers crisis, the worst is over, says Fubara. Rivers crisis, the worst is over, says Fubara. And now just in, minimum wage strike continues pending Tuesday review meeting, NLC. Strike continues pending Tuesday review. Rate face-off settled. Visa issuance begins soon. Federal government. Nigeria, United Arab Emirates face-off settled. Visa issuance begins soon. Find this on the Punch newspaper as well. Striking union shuts airports, ports and banks. Striking union shuts airports, ports and banks. I could say for a fact that a lot of people had to cancel flights and their plans for yesterday due to the strike that started here in our very own country, Nigeria. The Nigerian economy was partially paralyzed on Monday following the nationwide strike embarked upon by the Nigeria Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress. The nation's power sector, banks, ports, hospitals, schools, government ministries, departments and agencies, federal government on the new minimum wage. And now, without wasting much of our time, we'll take a look at Vanguard newspaper. The cover page reads, strike, federal government offers above 60,000 naira minimum wage as NLC TUC reverts to organs. Federal government offers above 60,000 naira minimum wage as NLC wage, urging organized labor to take the offer. And you find that on Vanguard newspaper today. Petrol landing cost rises 46.8% to 1,026.71 naira. Investigation. Government reforms should not push Nigerians into poverty. Ajaero. Government reforms should not push Nigerians into poverty. President of the Nigerian Labour Congress, Comrade Joe Ajaero, while speaking at the Vanguard Economic Discourse, charges the government to fix the economy and not allow the citizens to continue to suffer due to its reforms. On what fundamental are you making the demand of 450k minimum wage from the FG, knowing that it might push for more inflation in the country? Now, that's a question that was posted during an interview on the Vanguard newspaper with the president of Labour, of the Nigerian Labour Congress, Comrade Joe Ajaero. And now we'll take a look at another story here on the Vanguard newspaper. It says that we will accomplish more when we drop partisan politics, personal interests. President Tinubu, we will accomplish more when we drop partisan 2,000 naira minimum wage as NLC TUC revert to organs, as we've already stated earlier. Now, 1 billion naira transfer scam. Detectives spread dragnet to arrest perpetrators, finger top bank officials. Bandits infiltration. FCT police deploys assets to ensure safety of residents. FCT police deploy assets to ensure safety of residents. Now, Naira abuse. EFCC offers whistleblowers 5% reward. Tricky. Naira abuse. EFCC offers whistleblowers 5% reward. You find the story on the Vanguard newspaper for today. And now, without much ado, we'll take a look at Daily Trust newspaper with the cover page, minimum wage, labor strike grounds activities nationwide. And also, Nigerians will suffer if NLC in strike, Labour Minister. Nigeria Daily, labor strike hits poor Nigerians hard. Labor strike hits poor Nigerians hard. IGP says we will respect FG's decision on creation of state police. IGP, we will respect FG's decision on creation of state police. Gombe approves 20 billion naira for 18.5 kilometer road project. Gombe approves 20 billion naira for 18.5 kilometer road project. Still on Daily Trust newspaper, Ogun electrocution, survivor's father seeks assistance for ailing 3-year-old son. Alia commissions 33 new tractors to boost climate smart agric. And South Africa's president urges unity as ANC support plunges. South Africa president urges unity as ANC support plunges. We'd also take a look on the Daily Trust newspaper that strike, soldiers bar journalists as SGF labor leaders meet in Abuja. Soldiers bar journalists as SGF labor leaders meet in Abuja. How aircraft meant to convey Nigerian pilgrims for Hajj returned to Saudi empty. Strike, how aircraft meant to convey Nigerian pilgrims for Hajj returned to Saudi empty. Now we see lastly here that also on strike, federal government begs Labour as fresh meeting kicks off. That's on Daily Trust newspaper. Now on the leadership, the cover page reads, federal government begs as Labour grounds Nigeria over minimum wage. Federal government begs as Labour grounds Nigeria over minimum wage. Now we see as well that Governor Alia inaugurates 33 tractors, distributes 380 million naira to farmers. 30 million jobs available as Nigerian government improves energy. 30 million jobs available as Nigerian government improves energy. It says here in the summary that 30 million new jobs would be available in the energy sector globally as a result of investment in energy transition, which is one of the significant sectors that the Nigerian government has focused on to create jobs for the teeming Nigerian youth. The Nigerian energy sector witnessed a boost with 2 new gazettes issued by the federal government to serve as a roadmap to energy transition, efficiency, diversification, and reliability in the country to power Nigeria's industries, enhance economic development, and attract more investments. You find that on Leadership newspaper today. Now, JACMA, 10 countries allowing foreign students bring dependents. 10 countries allowing foreign students bring dependents. You find this on Leadership newspaper. Foreigners bring dependents. Some countries with prominent institutions have recognized the need to have loved ones around while studying. They have developed means like the dependence visa, which allows foreign students to bring in their family members. Talk about Germany, USA, Canada, Australia, Austria, Malta, Japan, where dependents are still allowed. Now you take a look at a final story on the Leadership newspaper for today. Before we go on a break at the half hour mark, let's take a look at this day newspaper for today. Now a country into total blackout. Second rider says union to meet with organs to more new deal. Tripartite committee to convene daily portfolios, borrowing activities to build trust. Dangote eyes $30 billion in total revenue from of Heritage Bank. CBN revokes operating license of Heritage Bank. Obaseki bans activities of youth leaders, declares war on cultism. Obaseki bans activities of youth leaders, declare war on cultism. Ganduje to launch APC Youth Wing Workplace Training Program. Ganduje to launch APC Youth Wing Workplace Training Program. Now you find that story on this day newspaper. And lastly, we see here that FMBN moves to recover delinquent loans nationwide, set up 7 task teams. FMBN moves to recover delinquent loans nationwide, set up 7 task teams. You find that on this day newspaper. And now taking a look at the Nation newspaper, cover page reads, Labour throws nation into darkness on day 1 of stalled wage talk strike. Labour throws nation into darkness on day 1 of stalled wage talks strike. Organized Labour threw the nation into darkness after shutting down the national grid in the wee hours of yesterday. It was the first day of the indefinite strike. It was the first day of the indefinite strike. It's called to protest the stalled talks on minimum wage. You find that on the Nation newspaper. She can lead 45 girls with vocational skills at correctional center. She can lead 45 girls with vocational skills at correctional center. Experts seek global solution to rising STI cases. Experts seek global solution to rising STI cases. Navy takes outreach to Iru community. Navy takes outreach to Iru community. Tinubu governors for 30th Ekmetedo declaration. Tinubu governors for 30th Ekmetedo declaration. And now we see that group lauds Tinubu's intervention in NAND crisis. Group lauds Tinubu's intervention in the National Association of Nigerian Students crisis. Friends of Sheyi Tinubu has hailed Sheyi Tinubu for support and dedication to youth, adding his intervention in the faction issue in National Association of Nigerian Students was pivotal to resolving the case. Now, in a statement, they congratulated the president on his first anniversary in office. You find that on the Nation newspaper. Now, how to reduce $20 billion spent on food imports by $1 billion spent on food imports by Obasanjo. Cryptocurrency, virtual assets trading barred on our platform, says OPay. Cryptocurrency, virtual assets trading barred on our platform, says OPay. Tinubu renews vow to enhance quality of life. Tinubu renews vows to enhance quality of life. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu yesterday reaffirmed his administration's commitment to the enhancement of the quality of life from Villa Roundabout to Ring Road at the Federal Capital Territory. Now, the president who noted that the nation's capital and concept of modern leadership in Nigeria. And that's where we will put a stop on. I have to go on a very quick break, and when we're back here, we'll be reviewing the papers with our in-house analyst, Mr. Salmon. Yes, we are.
Well, alhamdulillah.
Okay. All right, let's go on a very quick break. When we are back here, we will take encourage that you call in. The phone lines are open for you. The number is 0903 2229797 or 0818 22205. Do stay tuned. Yes, many thanks for staying tuned. Time check is 32 minutes past 7 a.m. And it's time for us to review the papers, take a look at topical stories, and put our opinions on them and let us know what it is. Like I stated it earlier, and I'll state it again, the phone lines are open for our listener to call in and engage. We'd like to hear from you. When you call, let us know your name and where you are calling from. Very, very, very important this morning. And I will take a look at the cover page of the Punch newspaper, which is similar to the rest of the dailies this morning. It says minimum wage, federal government offers over 60,000 naira, Labour may end strike. Federal government offers over 60,000 naira, Labour may end strike. So Salami, what is your opinion on this?
Well, we thank God for little mercies. And it is good that the organized labor and the federal government are beginning to hear themselves. The falcon can now listen or hear the falconer. That's a good development. Labor has seen that insistence on 494,000 may not be the best road to take. And the federal government too has seen that insisting on 60,000 per month as the minimum wage may not altogether be the best. Like we said yesterday, that we should go back to the negotiation table and still discuss with a view to finding what is best for the Nigerian people. Quite many things are going wrong. We have been saying this, that strike in whatever form and no matter how well intentioned is not the way to go. That is not to say that the government is right. The government cannot be right on this matter, because it appears as if the language the federal government understands is that of strike. But I still want and I still plead that the poorest of the poor are the people who will be hard hit, because when two elephants fight, it's always the grass that suffers. And in this instance, the poor people. We said it yesterday. We continue to say that there are quite many Nigerians that unless they go out on a daily basis, they will not get something on the table. They go out to eke out a living on a daily basis. What happens to them? There is another Nova Morik, Muslim Rights, was saying that this strike will affect Hajj and the pilgrims and the pilgrims.
Yeah.
The lifting of the airlift,
Which you did,
of the pilgrims to Saudi Arabia. This is becoming a dangerous dimension. It was unintentional. I am very sure that the NLC did not mean to disrupt the airliftment of the pilgrims. But then, this is one of the unintended consequences of what is going on. And of course, you know how people will lash at it. Let's be circumspect. NSC means well. The federal government too should show utmost good faith. Good thing that the meeting at the office of the Secretary to the Government of Nigeria in the wee hours of yesterday almost ended well. Why did I say so? At least the government has shifted position. The government has said that yes, they are ready to pay more than 60,000. And of course the NSC has said that, look, we do not have such power to call off the strike. We will revert to our organs and to our unions, and we'll let you know. We are getting somewhere. Please let us jojo. Like I keep on saying, is better than war.
All right, thank you very much, Mrs. Salami. You know, earlier you mentioned the MURIC, that is the Muslim rights concern. Apparently, they had actually raised an alarm over the effects of the strike embarked upon by the Nigerian Labour Congress, and they said that the aircraft meant to convey Nigerian pilgrims for Hajj returned to Saudi empty.
Yes.
Yeah, that is on the Daily Trust newspaper. And now we'll even take a look at more stories in regards to the strike. Apparently, APC knocks PDP over 120,000 naira proposal. APC knocks PDP over 120,000 naira proposal. It said that the People's Democratic Party on Monday advised the organized labor not to settle for nothing less than 120,000 naira as a minimum wage. Before I continue, let's take this call from one of our listeners. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. My regard and greeting to your guest, Mr. Salami. Addressing Nigeria. Thank you very much, Mr. Salami, for your understanding.
Okay.
And it is like letting the Pope of the let it happen once and for all. Because if you never say it this time around, they cannot get it again. So we are not saying that it's able to insist on the strike. There is need for negotiation. Negotiation is all about something that must be done. If there is no way, when they go there, by trying to negotiate and accept to pay the minimum wage high. But he has not mentioned the price, what he wants to pay. So let them reduce it for us. Let Nigerians know what are we going to expect from them. And as the number is taking strike, we think it's also affecting the common man. I think those who are not government workers, they are not going well. So therefore, understand the government should understand the people. Thank you, that is my time.
Amen. Thank you very much, Chibike Mbani. Mr. Salami, do you have anything to retreat on that?
Well, that is Mr. Chibuke's well-considered opinion, and we respect his opinion. It's just that there is the need for us to be circumspect.
I'm sorry, Mr. Salami. Let's take a quick call from one of our listeners again. Hello, good morning, sir.
Hello, good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, sir. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Yomi. I'm calling from Gariki area.
Okay, good morning, sir. Please go ahead.
My regard to my senior brother, our daddy that is sitting down there for his elderly road, for his analysis that is doing, that is trying to follow through. The Almighty Allah deal with him, sir.
Amen.
Sir, my own take is all the issue of this federal police say they will agree with what FG on the state police. It's not a
back, and we'll be here to take your call as the phone lines are open. Now, to others who are trying to call in, the number is 0818-2222-205, 0818-2222-205, or 0903 2229-797, 0903 2229-797. Now, Mr. Salami, I do apologize for cutting you off earlier, but it will be okay if you continue what we're saying.
What I'm trying to say is that our callers are entitled to their opinion, and we respect their opinion. In fact, that is what democracy is all about. That is what free speech is all about. And we really need for us to be mindful of the unintended consequences of our action, knowing fully well that actions have consequences. In this instance, NLC embarked on indefinite strike. NLC did not, and I'm saying this with all sense of responsibility, NLC did not intend to disrupt the arrangement, and this is an aircraft that was to carry to airlift pilgrims return to Riyadh plans of NLC. It just happened that way. But we must know that in war, when there is war, there will be collateral damage. That is just it. It just happened that way. But now that we have seen that it is affecting, or it has affected a very raw nerve, that's very important. Let us do a rethink and let the federal government and the organized labor come have a truce, as they say. I keep on saying it. Negotiation is still the best way to go.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Salami. As you stated, negotiation is still the best way to go. Earlier, before we had a call from one of our callers, and read the headline that says APC knocks PDP over 120,000 naira proposal, and said that they advised that the organized labor to not settle for nothing less than 120,000 naira as a minimum, saying the federal government had no excuse not to pay as much. What is your take? Before you give your take, apparently everybody just got to know that the senators earned quite enough, and then Nigerians came out and raised their own opinions, but that's by the side. What is your take on the stories, Mr. Sarami?
Well, the People's Democratic Party is in opposition. No doubt about that. And what is the job of the opposition? Is to bring government. We would have done so and so XY. This is the way, or these are the way, and that is what I think that PDP is doing. But then PDP should not play to the gallery, because we were not in Europe, we were in Nigeria where PDP was in government too. But that is not to say that APC is doing very well or is not doing very well. The point I'm trying to make is this. Instead of fanning the embers of crisis and disunity, APC should prefer reasonable, practicable, and realistic solution and break it down. Not just to say that Nigerians, how they have arrived at that amount. And NSC too, thank God, is headed by somebody that is very, very intelligent, who himself was and is a journalist, because was a journalist, you are always a journalist. The Ajero of the Vanguard of those days is a very brilliant and intelligent reporter. He has the interest of this country at heart, and he has the interest of the organized labor and the workers of Nigeria at heart. He's doing this because he believes in the welfare and well-being of the workers. But then, and again, what will happen if the parties insist and are not prepared to shift ground? This is not the best way to go. All the parties involved should know that there's hardship in the land already. And strike, no matter how well-intentioned, will aggravate. This is why we plead that let them reach a truce, let them negotiate, and let
relief and whatnot. President Bola Tinubu says we will accomplish more when we drop partisan politics, personal interests. He said this yesterday that the completion of critical infrastructure projects across Nigeria by his administration was a clear example of what the country was capable of achieving when its leaders decide to work together towards a common goal, irrespective of political divide and personal interest. So what is your take on this?
That is a good one. That is the way to go. That is what we expect from Mr. President. But the truth is this: politicians can never leave partisanship. Partisan politics is part of the politicians, and I want to add or plead that while playing partisan politics, always have the interest of the nation at heart. You are playing politics because there is a nation, there is a country. If you burn the country, you cannot practice politics. While practicing politics, be mindful of the interest, the welfare, and the well-being of the commoners of Nigeria. And in any case, what is the number of the politicians? What is their number? What is more important is the growth and development, welfare and well-being of Nigerians. Politicians will always play politics, but then play politics without bitterness.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Salami, for that. Like you said, play politics without bitterness, and that is a very good one on that. Here again, we see on Leadership newspaper that 30 million jobs available as Nigerian government improves energy. It says that it will be available in the energy sector globally as a result of investment in energy transition, which is one of the significant sectors that the Nigerian government has focused on to create jobs for the teeming Nigerian youth. So what is your take?
No doubt, the energy sector is a critical sector that will unleash the potentials. But then the question has always been, how as the governments, successive governments, how have they fared? They have pumped a lot of money into this sector. Is the sector stubborn? Do we need rocket science? Pumped a lot of money into the sector. Here we are. Here we are. Let us, in the interest of the common man, please make sure that we have incessant power supply. If we do that, it will have multiplier effect in such a way that more jobs will be created. Bola Ahmed Tinubu knows well. We hope that they will walk the talk. And it is not enough to keep on promising us. We have had enough of promises. Nigerians want action. Nigerians want to see results. Just as what one of our professors during our days in the university wrote in his office, becoming is superior to being.
Okay, Mr. Salami, thank you very much for that. And, just as you said, and the president of the NLC, that's Nigerian Labour Congress, also said that government reforms should not push Nigerians into poverty, and that is where we are going to call it a day today. This is Citizen 93.7 FM. We'd like to say thank you to our callers this morning, Chibike Mbani and Yemi from Gariki. Thank you very much for staying tuned to our talk station. My name is Sharon Smith, and thank you also to Mr. Salami for being here and reviewing the papers with me this morning.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure being here.
All right. Same time tomorrow, 7 a.m. We'll be back here to review the papers, take a look at what's happening, look at the stories, and also look at the topical issues that we are able to address as we enjoy the rest of our day. Do stay tuned, FM, and also have a wonderful day.